Hi, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we as teachers will be sitting outside around Nevlin, and it's time for our final goodbyes. So hopefully you and your families will be able to come, and then we'll be handing out bags to you as we see you. So I hope to see you. Okay, I'm going to read the second part of Inside Out. Joy tried to get rid of the blue memory by sending it up the vacuum tube and out into the mind world, but sadness wouldn't let her. During the struggle, Joy and sadness dislodged the core memories from their holder. Riley's islands of personality went dark. As Joy raced around trying to make things right, the powerful vacuum tube sucked her up and out of headquarters, with sadness and all of Riley's core memories right behind her. Joy and sadness rocketed through the tube and landed with a thud on a cliff overlooking the mind world. "We can fix this," Joy told sadness. "We just have to get back to headquarters, plug the core memories in, and Riley will be back to normal." Joy and sadness ran to Goofball Island. Then they began to cross the light line, which was like a narrow power cord that connected the island to the core memory holder in headquarters. Things were not looking good for Riley or her remaining emotions. "Great," Anger grumbled. "We have no core memories, no personality islands, and no joy." They tried running things themselves, but it was a disaster. During dinner, Riley's parents noticed her strange behavior, and their emotions scrambled to figure out what was going on. It wasn't long before Riley was sent to her room. When Riley ignored her dad's attempts to cheer her up later that evening, Goofball Island started to fall apart. As the island crumbled, joy and sadness dashed back to solid ground. Together, the two emotions watched Goofball Island collapse into the abyss. Sadness was too overwhelmed to move, but Joy refused to delay their journey back to headquarters any longer. She grabbed Sadness's foot and dragged her into the labyrinth of long-term memory. As joy and sadness meandered through the winding shelves of long-term memory, they came across two forgetters. It was all the forgetter's job to vacuum up the old memories that Riley no longer needed and send them down to the memory dump. "Nothing comes back from the dump," one forgetter explained. Joy was horrified at the thought of throwing away Riley's perfectly good memories. But the forgetters explained that they needed to vacuum up old memories to make room for Riley's new memories. The following morning, Riley video chatted with Meg, her best friend from Minnesota. When Meg told Riley about a new girl on the hockey team, Riley got upset. "Oh, she did not just say that," snapped disgust. "A new girl?" Fear asked in disbelief. "Meg has a new friend already?" Anger quickly took charge of the situation. "I gotta go," Riley interjected, cutting the conversation short. As Riley slammed her laptop closed, Friendship Island started to groan and creak. Back in the mind world, Joy ran toward the terrible sound. Friendship Island disintegrated into the memory dump. "That was your favorite," said Sadness, "and now it's gone." Joy could think only of getting back to headquarters to help Riley. She had no choice but to return to the maze of long-term memory, dragging Sadness behind her. Along the way, the two emotions ran into Riley's old imaginary friend, Bing Bong. Bing Bong was part cat, part elephant, and part dolphin, but he was made entirely of cotton candy. It had been years since he and Riley had played together. They used to go on amazing adventures, mostly in Bing Bong's rocket wagon, which could fly when they sang a special song. There's not much call for imaginary friends lately, said Bing Bong with a sigh. He handed his magical bottomless bag to Joy so she could carry Riley's core memories safely. Then he told them that they could take the train of thought back to headquarters. Meanwhile, Riley was trying out for her new San Francisco hockey team. But without Hockey Island running, she was having a hard time. Fear tried to jam old hockey memories into the core memory holder to power up the dark island, but it spit them out. Riley made so many mistakes that she got frustrated and stormed off the ice. Crash! Hockey Island fell to pieces. Back in imagination land, Bing Bong cried candy tears. Mind workers had thrown his rocket wagon into the memory dump. Joy tried to cheer him up, unsuccessfully. But when Sadness sat beside him and listened, he started to feel better. Joy was baffled. How could Sadness have made Bing Bong feel better? She didn't have time to give it a second thought, though, because Riley had fallen asleep. They needed to wake her up so the train of thought could take them back to headquarters. Thankfully, Sadness spotted Dream Productions. Perhaps a lively dream would do the trick? Okay, how are we going to wake her up? Joy asked Sadness as they walked through Dream Productions. Sadness thought a nightmare would work best, but Joy didn't like that idea at all. She wanted Riley to wake up from sheer happiness. Joy found a dog costume nearby and handed off to Sadness. Riley loves dogs, said Joy. Put this on. With Bing Bong's help, Joy and Sadness made a big scene on set. Let's party, Joy shouted between barks. Let's dance. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop today. So tomorrow, on our last day of school, I'll read the end of the book. Okay, have a great day, everybody.